A few years ago, I was diagnosed with an anxiety disorder. In my search for answers, I stumbled upon Stoicism. The idea was appealing. Focus on what you can control and accept what you can't. It seemed like the perfect philosophy to help me find peace. I dove into Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, absorbed the teachings, and tried to apply them to my life. But despite my efforts, I wasn't feeling any better. In fact, my anxiety felt more pronounced than ever, and I couldn't understand why. One of the biggest challenges with Stoicism today is how it's often misunderstood, especially online. Social media is filled with quotes and advice that oversimplify Stoic principles. You're told to be emotionless or never show weakness, as if that's the key to a fulfilling life. This misconception is sometimes amplified by public figures who promote a distorted version of Stoicism. They preach suppression of emotions and encourage a kind of cold-heartedness. For many teenagers and young adults, this stone-faced persona seems appealing, a way to appear strong and untouchable. But this isn't Stoicism. It's a misinterpretation that can lead to emotional suppression and even toxic masculinity. The Stoics didn't advocate for eliminating emotions. In fact, they recognized the importance of understanding and managing them wisely. Take Seneca, for example. In Consolation de Marcia, he consoles a grieving mother who had lost her son. Instead of telling her to suppress her grief, Seneca acknowledges her pain, but warns against letting grief become a permanent part of her life. He says, "Grief, if allowed to linger, feeds upon itself until the mind takes a morbid delight in it." Seneca's approach wasn't about ignoring emotions, but dealing with them early, before they took control of one's mind. In Marcia's case, Seneca recognized that she needed to confront her grief before it hardened into something that would rule her life. Stoicism can guide you toward virtue, but it's not a replacement for therapy or other professional help when dealing with mental health issues. Instead of relying solely on Stoic principles, it's important to seek other forms of support to better understand and manage emotions. In my case, trying to suppress my emotions only made my anxiety worse. The more I tried to not care, the more disconnected I felt, from myself and from others. I realized that Stoicism requires a deep level of self-awareness and emotional intelligence. It's not just about applying the teachings, it's about understanding your own mind, your thoughts, and how you process emotions. At the time, while dealing with anxiety, I lacked that foundational understanding of myself. Without it, Stoicism felt distant and difficult to truly grasp, and I found myself using it to avoid my emotions rather than understanding them. So, if Stoicism doesn't work for everyone, where does that leave us? For me, it meant seeking other avenues to manage my emotions and anxiety. Instead of trying to suppress my anxiety, I began to understand it. This approach helped me more than misapplied Stoic principles ever did. That doesn't mean Stoicism has no value. Its teachings on virtue, resilience, and perspective can be incredibly beneficial. But it's important to engage with the philosophy authentically, not through the distorted lens often presented online. If you found that Stoicism isn't working for you, know that it's okay. Personal growth isn't one-size-fits-all. Explore different philosophies, therapies, and practices to find what resonates with you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you encountered misconceptions about Stoicism? Has the philosophy helped or hindered you on your journey? Share your experiences in the comments below. Remember, understanding ourselves is a journey, not a destination.